Hey all, I'm Danny Mecca, a product manager here at Bill, and I'm excited to share with you today our developer platform. In this demo, we'll explore key financial workflows in Bill and how they can be automated and scaled with the Bill API platform. This is going to include onboarding your new vendors, paying your vendors, and real-time spend control with budgets and cards using our spend and expense product offering. So let's start with the manual process your team might be going through today with Bill. You have a new bill for your vendor that you need to get paid. So what do? Well, a member of your finance team probably logs into Bill. They're going to add the vendor first, then they're going to enter a bill for that vendor, and then they're simply going to schedule that payment. Now, all of this is manual steps that somebody on your team has to do directly through the Bill UI. Now, this works fine for one business, but as your business is growing rapidly or you're building tools to serve other businesses, you need to automate these processes at scale. That's where the Bill API platform comes in. It gives you the ability to map every Bill function to simple API calls, allowing you to integrate your systems into Bill and automating those manual processes. So now let's walk through what this AP workflow could look like using the API platform. Vendor onboarding is often the first step in any AP workflow. Whether you are onboarding payees through your own UI or you're syncing with an external CRM, the V3 Vendor API allows you to simply post your vendor's information here, and it'll create a vendor within the Bill system. For accounting firms, this means that you can keep your list of contractors, suppliers, or partners consistent across Bill and your GL systems without manual entry. Now, I can create a vendor by providing the required information, which you see here. I have a vendor contact information. I have vendor payment information. I can set all of that up here through this API request. I can also enable things like auto pay for this vendor. Depending on the use case you have and the amount of data you have on your vendor will dictate what information you use when you create a vendor through these APIs. Now, once your vendor's in place, the next step is going to be creating a bill and then orchestrating a payment. So I can create a bill and include the vendor ID simply in this request here. And I can add all of the relevant data from the invoice number to due dates to GL codes, any of the information I need to capture on that bill. As an accounting firm, I can get the entire list of bills from our APIs, making it easy to sync payable records into QuickBooks, NetSuite, or any sort of in-house software system. This reduces the manual entry and ensures that the client's ledger stays up to date and in near real time. If I want to update a record, the API supports update operations for vendors, bills, and more. This helps keep my firm's data clean, compliant, and in sync with all these other systems. Now, we've got the bill. It's time to make a payment on that bill. So it's as simple as one API request to process that payment. I can control the timing of that payment, the payment method that's used. So am I using my bank account? I can also select the payment source. Bill handles the disbursement and money movement behind the scenes of this payment request, so I don't have to worry about any of that. I can also reconcile those payment records. So I can pull payment data from these APIs. So I don't need to chase down any manual data entry. I can use those API requests to pull that data and sync payments into my system. Now let's talk about Bill's spend and expense product. Bill provides API capabilities for creating and assigning budgets by user and time period. Let's say I want to manage my employees' team's expenses. I can create budgets, allocations by user, department, or time window, and track spend in real time. So this budget request is going to allow me to create that budget for a specific team member. Now, how can these users spend this budget? So you need to create a card to do that. So I can set up a virtual card for them. So the next request you'll see here is the ability to set up a virtual card tied to that budget. It's as simple as defining what budget, what user, and then that will create a virtual card that employee or user can use. Now, I also have the ability to pull this information so I can categorize budget transactions by department or by custom dimensions. This is a great fit for platforms serving distributed teams or client accounts with frequent out-of-pocket spend. So this is a very brief showcase of the capabilities within the BILL v3 APIs. The complete list of available functions can be found on developer.bill.com, where you can see a comprehensive list of all of our API documentation. One good example of what you might find there is a concept of webhooks, which would give your accounting firm the ability to see updates when data changes within the bill system, giving you real-time visibility to any of those changes. It's as simple as subscribing to any of those events, like a vendor's been created, a bill's been created, a payment created, or a transaction's been updated. These events will keep your systems in sync and allow you to notify your end users when any of those data sources is changed. So you're probably wondering now, how do I get started? Well, getting started is easy. BILL provides a full-featured sandbox with sample requests, recipes to showcase existing workflows, so you can build on top of the things that we already outlined within the developer.bill.com. Simply signing up for an account, generating a developer key, and you can start building today. No production account is required to set up a login in that test environment. Now, whether you're building internal tools, supporting clients as an accounting firm, or building a SaaS integration, the BILL v3 API gives you everything you need to automate those financial workflows at scale. Explore the docs, test with the API and sandbox, and start building today with developer.bill.com. We cannot wait to see what you build. Thanks.